This has been an incredibly mild winter. I had a garden flag which I was hanging up just until this week that said, "Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow." And I finally put it up because I do not think it's going to be the year for that. Spring is coming early this year, and that is just fine by me. I think there's been enough darkness of late, and not just in the sky. Our God knows a lot about darkness. That's why in the beginning of creation, God separated the day from the night so that the darkness would not always rule. God knows a lot about darkness and our night fears. So God sent us a light that would forever shine in the darkness. And God sent God's only child, God's only Son, Jesus Christ, who would not just be a light of the world, but the light of the world. I share this reminder with you because when you take a first glance at our scripture lessons, they can seem rather dark. So let's cast some gospel light on them. Moses says to his people, "See, I have set before you today life and prosperity, death and adversity." And Moses goes on to tell them that if they choose to follow God, then they will be blessed. But if their hearts turn away, if you bow down to other gods and serve them, you will perish. Now, this is not the God of wrath. I repeat, this is not the God of wrath. Rather, this is the God of truth saying, be careful. Be careful how you orient your lives, and be careful what you worship. All that glitters is not gold. Children used to learn this little hymn in church. Maybe you remember it. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. Oh, be careful, little eyes, what you see. There's a Father up above, and He's looking down in love. So be careful, little eyes, what you see. And then it goes on from there. Now that is a much nicer way of saying be careful than what Jesus did in today's gospel, saying, if your right eye offends you, pluck it out. Now for me personally, that did take a personal turn this week. When I had some problems in my right eye, I encountered this gospel and I said, I don't think so. When Moses tells his people that they will be prosperous, there is more than one meaning to that word. For us as Christians, it's much more than economic success. Other definitions from Webster's dictionary use such words as thrive and flourish and vigor to define prosperity. This is a prosperity gospel that has very little to do with money. It has everything to do with how we orient our lives. And that's what we do on Sundays. We come to be reoriented. A compass is always supposed to point to true north, but during the week we can be misdirected. A political conversation in the office becomes heated. We forget to listen. We forget to love. Righteous indignation just becomes indignation, and the compass needle begins to turn away from true north. There are no winners. There are no losers. Well, actually, that they are. They're just losers. And a little bit of our soul withers, and we find that we are not flourishing. And we wonder, how did that happen? How did that happen? We take that same attitude into social media, where we don't have to see people face to face. We don't have to see the nuclear effects of our words. We find ourselves acting in ways that are not our best selves. We forget to listen. We forget to love. And a little bit of our soul withers, and we find that we are not flourishing. And by the week's end, the compass needle is just spinning, and we have lost our direction. In the Episcopal Church, we have a very physical way of being redirected. It is literally following the cross. The cross leads us into worship, and then the cross leads us out into the world. It was our presiding bishop, Michael Curry, who pointed this out, especially when we do what we call the gospel procession. You just saw that. That's when we take the gospel and we read it from the middle of the congregation. And when the cross and the gospel are carried into our midst, wherever we are, we turn and we face it. No matter where we are seated, we turn and we face the cross. We face the gospel. It's another way of physically, literally being reoriented. Follow the cross. Listen to the gospel. And as we do, the compass begins to turn to true north again. We can breathe again. We can flourish. And any time the cross passes us, you'll notice we bow. It's called reverencing the cross. We bow to this cross and no other. We bow to this cross and no one. We bow to this God and no other. We allow Jesus to get under our skin and remake us and save us. Sometimes it's saving us from ourselves. And listen to that word, we allow. We allow God to do this. God does not override our will. Like a homeless person asking for a handout, God is asking to come in, and we have the free will. We have the free will to say yes or no to God. To God, who remains homeless until we give God that room. The little gods that can suck us dry, that can suck our soul dry, are more than just the usual suspects. I found this poem this week by a humorist named Judith Fiost. She wrote a book called How Did I Get to Be 40 and Other Atrocities? Wait till you hit 60. This is the poem. I finished 6 Pillows and Needlepoint, and I'm reading Jane Austen in Kent. I'm up to the pork with black beans and advanced Chinese cooking. I don't have to struggle to find myself, for I already know what I want. I want to be healthy and wise and extremely good looking. I'm learning new glazes in pottery class, and I'm playing new chords in guitar. And in yoga, I'm starting to master the lotus position. I don't have to ponder priorities, for I already know what they are. To be good looking and healthy and wise and adored in addition. I'm improving my serve with a tennis pro, and I'm practicing verb forms in Greek. And in primal scream therapy, all my frustrations are vented. I don't have to ask what I'm searching for, since I already know what I seek. To be good looking and healthy and wise and adored and contented. I've bloomed in organic gardening, and in dance I've tightened my thighs, if only. And in consciousness raising, there's no one around who can top me. And I'm working all day and I'm working all night to be good looking, healthy and wise and adored and contented and brave and well-read and a marvelous hostess and bilingual, athletic, artistic. Won't someone please stop me? Can I hear an amen? And that's what Jesus says to us. Stop. Stop what you are doing. He asked that wonderful phrase, is it well with your soul? Is it well with your soul? Is this giving you life or is it giving you death? Moses was speaking words that Jesus would later say, and I have to wonder if we listen to either one of them. Won't someone please stop me? So Moses says, choose life so that you and your descendants may live, loving the Lord your God, obeying him, and holding fast to him. For that means life for you. That means life for you. Jesus says, I came that you may have life and have it abundantly. And abundant sounds a lot like thriving to me. But the choice is yours. It's really yours. See, I have set before you today life and prosperity, death and adversity. It's your choice. Amen.